I have to be honest, guys, I really did not fully comprehend how much I missed this series these past 6 months until I sat down to watch this episode and just fell in love with it all over again. This might be one of my new favorite episodes in the series so far. I don't know, maybe I should just stop saying that, but God, I loved the hell out of this episode. Hello everybody, I am Phenom Sage, and welcome back finally to another Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation review. Today we will be talking about the long-awaited episode 12, The Woman with the Demon Eyes. And before we even get into the review, I have to let you guys know that in celebration of part 2 dropping, I rewatched the entire series last week and have made a quick overall review of part 1 that I have uploaded to my main channel. So if you're interested in what my overall takes are on what we've gotten so far in the story, a link to that review will be in the description and in the comments below. Now, I have to be honest with you guys. I have to be just 100% real here. I knew about the special eye before the series started. I think most people did. It was very prominent in the first PV. You can't even look up the first opening without seeing it. It's pretty hard to avoid. But the difference is that I had no idea what that eye was or how Rudius would get it. And now that, spoilers, he's finally gotten it, I have to say that it wasn't anything like I expected, and I mean that in the best way possible. This was by far the funniest episode of the series so far. All of the gags, even the degenerate ones, made me laugh super hard, and the new character that we're finally properly introduced to, named Kishirika Kishirisu, is tonally probably the best thing that you could have started this second part with, because it's been pretty serious for a couple episodes now, let's be real. And that's not to say that this episode didn't get serious either, or that I don't like those serious moments. Those moments are fantastic. But this episode really reminded me how funny this series can be, how great the dialogue is, and how charismatic and likable Rudius really is underneath all of that degenerate exterior. But what I appreciated even more than the comedy was how well the tone was balanced through all of the different scenes. You could have a moment like Rudius beating Eris with his cheap future sight eye, and I won't lie, I laughed when Eris started getting all pouty about it, but then, in the very next scene, they take that exact moment and twist it in a way where I felt like shit. I felt bad for laughing at that moment when you realize how it affected Eris and the way they're using it to characterize her goal of keeping up with Rudius and Ruijerd. She's been training non-stop since she met Rudius, and it recontextualizes all of those moments in a way that makes her so much more endearing as a character. Like, I didn't think it was possible to love Eris any more than I did, but this episode proved me wrong. She's the best. Same with Ruijerd and Rudius. Both of them get these really heartfelt moments where Ruijerd feels terrible for burdening the group, and Rudius is taking everything upon himself, even though he just said in the last episode that they would work more as a team. It's just super humanizing moments like this that make this cast so wonderful to follow and grow closer to. I don't understand if Rudius hasn't won you over yet. He has his degen moments, yeah, but there are so many more moments that really show you how caring and thoughtful he is of the people who are close to him. It's really great, and this episode just reinforced all of that a lot. So all of that stuff is great, but what really elevated it even higher was probably the best animation and production we've seen from the series so far. Other than maybe the finale from part 1, this episode felt so alive, and alive in ways that we aren't even used to. The Kishirika scene is like something ripped out of a Looney Tunes cartoon, and it really conveyed her personality and demeanor extremely well, and just made that entire sequence so much better than it already was. I really hope that watching an episode like this convinces people that the delay was worth it. It was so worth it, because it's clear that Studio Bind really wanted to take their time and deliver the highest quality that this series deserves. They could have rushed it out a season ago, but I respect them for taking their time and giving us the experience they intended. It's not just the comedy though. This seaside port is probably the busiest and most alive setting we've visited in the series so far. So much careful attention to detail is given to this location, the people in it, and it really immerses you in a way that most fantasy anime could only dream of doing. Plot-wise, a lot of big stuff is happening right now, but it's happening in ways that is hard to really gauge where they're taking it. The demon eyes, for example, and just that character, the demon emperor Kishirika. She's clearly not normal. She's apparently been resurrected, she has 12 demon eyes, and she clearly knows that something is unique about Rudeus. But I'm also not sure how she'll play a role in the rest of the series now that she's essentially given Rudeus the power-up he needed. It is a little bit Deus Ex Machina, I'm not gonna lie, and I think I brought this up the last time Man-God helped Rudeus out of a problem as well, but the difference is I don't really have any issue with it right now because it's clear that's exactly what the story is going for. This is supposed to feel really convenient in a way that's suspicious, and a way that Rudeus himself is suspicious of what the deal with this dude is and what he's eventually leading him to. The real question I have right now is what's going on with Roxy? She's clearly aware of the party, or at least Eris and Ruijerd, but will she meet with Rudeus next episode? Will she help us get to the Millis continent? What's the deal with Ghislaine's former party members? I can only speculate on all of this, but I can say that I always get super anxious whenever characters are looking for each other despite being right next to each other, so I hope this is resolved next episode, at least for the sake of my health. The last thing I really have to mention is the new ED, because unlike the ED in part 1, this one is not only amazing, but its visuals seem to tell and foreshadow a lot more about the story than the first one did. Rudeus looking through the window panes of his old home at the rest of the characters. There's an outline of Rudeus that has replaced him within the party of Eris and Ruijerd. I don't know what this could mean. Maybe eventually he'll get separated from them. Maybe it's just conveying his insecurity or his role of not belonging in this world with everyone else. But it's definitely concerning, and it's definitely foreshadowing something in a way that makes me anxious to see what will happen next. That's been all for me though, guys. It's so great to be back on the weekly train, I'm not gonna lie, and I hope this season continues being as good as this first episode of part 2 was. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about all of this, and if you want double the Mushoku content today, again, I made an entire quick review of part 1 just to prep for part 2 dropping today. That should be uploaded right now, but if it isn't, it will be within the next 24 hours, and it will be linked in the description and the comments below. And of course, if you want to talk about this episode or Mushoku as a whole, or just anything with me and a bunch of other cool people in the community, you can join my Discord server, which will also be linked in the description below. Thank you all for watching, I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.